I'm Tia Zavaris. I'm an attorney, but I'm not your attorney. I'm also a mediator and a divorce coach. And I want to give you some coaching tips on what it looks like if you take the path of an evolved divorce or you go a traditional litigated divorce. For a traditional litigated divorce, when you walked into my office, if you were hiring me, you could plan to put down a retainer that started typically around $7,500, and it could go as high as $20,000 or $30,000, depending on how complicated your case is or what was going on at the time. At that time, I would inform you that you needed to expect to likely hire experts if you had any issues with parenting with your co-parent and you wanted to object to what they were asking for, or you didn't believe that you would agree on the value of your home or your other assets, or that there were business assets that needed to be evaluated. You may need to get experts in any situation, but in this case, you are more likely than not going to have experts assigned to deal with valuing every asset that I don't have a way to independently value. That could be an accountant, a forensic accountant, to evaluate your business. It could be an accountant who does a financial tracing to determine whether or not there has been what we call dissipation or waste, where there's been spending that you weren't aware of, or gambling, or it was spent on cocaine or other women. You may have experts involved who are going to come in and evaluate your parenting skills and speak with your children. You will have to pay for all of these experts. You may have real estate appraisal experts. You may have competing experts. You may have all of these experts, and this is just for you and your attorney. Your spouse will have the same version on their end. So when you come in and you're litigating your divorce, you need to plan and anticipate that you're going to put retainers down for all of the professionals that will be utilized in your case, and you're going to have to pay them on an hourly rate, and it will likely be greater than the retainer that you're putting down. So when I would sit down with a potential client and we would talk about my retainer and we would talk about potential experts that would need to come in and what they could expect, I always let the client know that it was highly unlikely that their divorce would be completed within that $7,500. And I was never wrong. A litigated divorce involves hours of document requests and communication. Often the communication is adversarial. Often the communication occurs when it could occur between you and your partner. It may be uncomfortable, and you may need some coaching on how to do it in an effective way. But much of the business of your divorce is abdicated to the attorneys, and the attorneys engage in the discussion about who gets what long before you do. Those conversations, the need to go to the court to request documents, the need to request documents from another party, the need to go to the court and tell the court that the other party is withholding income, wages, information, all of that costs thousands of dollars. And you're not guaranteed that you won't have a contentious divorce anyway if you're coached first. But if you're working with a coach, you're not going to be spending your money on your attorney as your therapist. You are going to be engaged as to the communications that they're going to have with your spouse's attorney. You are going to be engaged in the litigation such that you are making decisions that come from a place of strategy as opposed to just coming from a place of fear.